Hello, welcome to Defining Life Path podcast. I'm your host, Cynthia Meeks, and today's topic is all about my new memoir titled Numbers, Angels, and God, A Journey of Faith. Are you guys ready for some really good stuff? Okay, so before I jump into what my book is all about, I do want to say that it will definitely awaken you if you're sleeping and you're not living in a spirituality, if you're still religious and have not crossed over to spirituality. And I hate to say cross over because it sounds like you are stepping out of something and moving into something else. But to me, spirituality is really the one-on-one relationship with God. And that is so important these days. There have been several people who have read my book already, and the feedback that I have received from them has been really, really good. They have said, oh my God, I have not read a book like this. I had to read it 3 times, 2 times. It gave them this sense of wanting and not something new that they've never heard before. So let's just jump right in it, okay? So my book definitely would give hope to the hopeless. It will give a crave to the craveless. It will give a vision to the visionless. It will give a dream to the dreamless, eager to the eagerless, crave to the craveless. I think I said that already, but it will give a plan to the planless. It will give a pulse to the pulseless. It will give a thirst to the thirstless. That's how moving the words in this book is. There's no comparison to the Bible with my book, but I can say you will have a revelation when you read this book, because you will see modern day miracles that are happening today. I was able to move in my family's life and my life while we were on our spiritual journey. So to tell you a little bit about who I am, my name is Cynthia Meeks. I am 45 years old. I have 2 boys, Cy and Julius. Julius is 20, Cy is 11, and I am a single parent. I've raised my children pretty much by myself, pretty much their entire lives. When you're a single parent, you are a single parent. It's no, you can have the guidance of the father and child support, but at the end of the day, it's still majority of the work is on the mother. And so with that being said, I had a situation in 2017. I was faced with being late on my bills, and the reason why, because my son wanted to go to school out of college. He had a full ride scholarship. He's pre-med. He wanted to go to his first year out of college, out of the state. And he wanted to come back home a lot, fly home a lot, because he had got homesick. So me flying him home all the time and then giving him money while he was away, I put me behind on my finances. And so what happened, he moved back home after his first year. He decided he didn't want to live so far away, so he decided to move back home. But then when he moved back home, he decided, well, now I want a car. And he had a car in high school. He had a truck, but when he left, I could not afford the insurance on the truck and my car, so I gave it back to my dad, my stepdad, who gave it to him. And so my son really wanted a car, and I've always wanted to give my children the things that they want, especially because my children are such good kids. And with that being said, this time I could not give him, Julius, what he wanted, and it really bothered me. And so I was going to do a numerology film. Prior to him going off to college, I had discovered numerology, and that was so dear to my heart because I realized that people didn't know who they were. After I discovered, I asked, talked to a lot of people, and they was like, I don't know anything about this, but they were glad that I brought them the news. And numerology gives you a sense of knowing who you are, and it helps you to find your purpose for this lifetime. It's basically your blueprint for your life. You're born with a blueprint. God did not leave you, put you to this world, and then say, figure it out. He gave you a blueprint that we have not been taught this. And so it was, yeah, I felt like it was on me to say, you're going to have to be the one to bring this message out to everybody. There are people out there who know all about numerology, especially the celebrities, but people who need to know their inner talents and their gifts, and how special they are. We don't know this information. And so moving forward, I was trying to raise the money to get the film started, and I was very unsuccessful with doing that. But I did find a really good friend in that time, which was a numerologist. He was an Indian guy, and he said, if you really want to get money for this film, this is what you have to do. So he gave me two things to do. I can either choose to do it early in the morning, or I can choose to do it later at night. And so I chose to do both. The first one was early in the morning. That didn't work. And then that's when my son was really, really on me about finding him a car. And so I decided, you know what, let me switch this up, because at this point, now I'm behind on my rent, and it was so many things going on, but I was behind on my rent, and he wanted a car and money for the film. So I just decided to focus on him and push the money for the film to the side, focus on my son, getting him a car. And so what my numerologist told me to do, I decided to use that as to use it for my children instead of for myself. And so I had got excited and decided to come home, and I said, hey boys, check this out. This is what we're going to do. And also, before I get into that, I had saw a documentary on YouTube about unemployed angels. And so I decided to add another step to this, and I said, you know, what we're going to do is we're going to do this at night. We're going to light this candle, and we're going to ask for these unemployed angels to come and help us put our wants onto this candle. And I don't want to give the book away, because you really, really have to read the book, because like I said, it have modern day miracles in the book that you will see how God can really truly move in your life when you are connected to the God within. And so anyhow, to make a long story short about my book, my children, my oldest is a realist, and he really does not believe in oh, you can say this and then supernatural things can just happen. He's very, very pessimistic, and he's not optimistic at all about anything. And that's probably because he has that doctor mind, and they go with what science is, what's here, what they can actually see, and not beyond that. But my youngest is like my little Buddha. He's so filled with faith, and whatever I say let's do, he's on it. If it have anything to do with asking God for anything, he's on it, because somehow whatever he asks for, he usually gets. And which is, I love it, because I don't even know how it happens like that, but usually whatever he asks for, he gets. And it's not even by me, it's just by chance, it just happens. And so he was excited to do this ceremony that I suggested that we would do with calling on the angels, lighting the candle, and putting our wants on speaking our wants. And so the first time that we did this, you will see in the book that my oldest son, he halfway participated, and so I made him get up and not participate anymore with us. But my youngest son and I continued to go forward, and everything that was on Sai's list, everything that he put out there, his want, manifested everything. And that's the most important thing about the book. If you can see how, as at that time he was 9, he put everything out there and was not afraid to see it, didn't care if it was happening or not. He just knew it would happen, and that was it. And he said it so beautifully, and everything manifested in the book. It's very important for you to not only read the book, but see yourself in this book and see things moving in your life by connecting with God within. let's see, I don't want to get off on a tangent because I know I can. And so basically it teaches you about faith, it teaches you about being spiritual, and it tells you a lot about how I grew up, how my grandparents and my mom will always say things like, we robbing Peter to pay Paul, or, they will pray prayers like, I know I'm not worthy, but if you just bless me this one time or this last time. And, as an adult, I find myself repeating the same things that they were saying and getting the same results. I got the one prayer answer, and then that was it. I felt guilty asking for anything else. And that's not how God is. He wants to give us abundance. He wants to give us prosperity in all walks of our lives, in our happiness, in our marriage, in our family, in our money, especially money. I can't stress that enough. But so you will definitely see a beautiful story about a family and how we became homeless. And within, I would say, we became homeless in September, and then I moved into my very own home. As you can see, if you're watching this on YouTube, I moved into our very own home in June. I bought a house in June. And so, and that was part of one of Sai's wants. The story is beautiful. It is a beautiful story. It's all factual. I thank everybody who was a part of our lives, who we met during this journey. They're in the back of the book. I thank them in the back of the book. I explained to you how to do the candle method and how to get everything you want manifested in your life. And so I encourage you today to get the book. Get Numbers, Angels, and God. You can get it off of Amazon. Right now we're selling it as an ebook on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Because we have not officially launched the book. The book will launch on June 1st. And actually, my son Sai and I both have books that we have out on Amazon at the same time. So this is a beautiful story, how a mom went from homeless into her very own home just by lighting a candle. But it was not that easy. I mean, you will see God move through this book. Not only did we buy a house, but I bought my son a car before I even bought a house. Right before my eviction, I bought him a car. And that was the beauty of it. And I know you're thinking, well, you can buy a car, you're not paying your bills, but it was not meant for me to pay that bill. It was not meant for things to happen, because if it would have happened the way I wanted them to happen, then I would not have been able to see the way God was going to move in our lives. And you will see that I did not have help from no one. I was still working a full-time job, so I still had money. Even though I was homeless, I was still considered even though I had money, I still was considered homeless because we did not have a roof over our heads that was ours. We were living in a hotel. We lived with family and friends, not family, no family here, but we lived with my friends. We lived in Airbnb. So you definitely want to pick up the book and check out my journey, because it's a beautiful journey and it will inspire you. It will give you courage. It will give you hope. It will give you faith to know that if it happened to her, God, I know it can happen to me. If I could just follow these simple steps and communicate with these angels and allow the angels to, keep me encouraged. It's one thing when you got your friends to have you encouraged, but it's a whole different ball game when angels can keep you encouraged, and they will walk with you and they will show you that they're communicating with you by numbers, which is the beauty part of it, because I was seeing a lot of 1111, 111, 222, 333, 444, and oh my God, that big 555, and that's a very powerful number, that 555. You know that a big unexpected change is about to happen in your life. So you will see how the angels communicated with me throughout the book. It was so evident, so clear. They will communicate with you too, just by doing the candle method that's in my book. My book right now is selling on Amazon, Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and Kobo for $9.99. You can pick up Sai's book called Sai the Mighty Minder for $9.99 as well. His book is all about a guardian angel from an alien race from another planet comes to modern day Earth and are there to guard babies, from babies all the way up to their 18, to help them and continue to keep them with good action, teaching them good actions. He has a very, very good rhyming book. I encourage to get his book if you have kids, because that will inspire your children as well. Like I say, our story is a beautiful story, and we would love for you to read our story and see how God moved in our life, how we connected with God within, how we trusted him, we kept the faith, and how we communicated with the angels as God was guiding us, leading us, how they encouraged us to continue to move forward and don't get discouraged. I can't stress enough about the book. Okay, so I'm going to give you information about my children. I talked a little bit about Sai. Sai is 11 now. We went through our journey when he was 9. He is a former YouTuber. We started out doing YouTube videos, and then we moved into products where he wanted to have a book and a plush toy based on his YouTube character. He is 11 now. And then Julius, which is my oldest son, who is 20. He's pre-med. He wants to be a surgeon. And which is so funny because I prayed for Julius when I was pregnant with him. I rubbed my stomach daily and prayed that God, and at that time I was still very religious and I was not spiritual. So I was still talking to the God in the sky and not the God within. But what I did pray for my son to become a doctor, a world-renowned doctor. And it was so funny that by the time he became 7 or 8, that was the first thing that he said that he wanted to be, was a surgeon. And I knew my answer. Well, I knew my answers was my prayers were answered when I gave birth to him. It's so funny too because I call Sai my little Buddha. And when Sai was born, he pushed himself out of me. The doctor was at home. There was no one there. The nurse ran into the room. He pushed himself out of me. When they put him on the incubator table, he actually flipped over and got on his hands and knees. He knew how to turn over at 0. And the day I brought him home from the hospital, he would crawl up my stomach. When I would lay him on my chest, he would crawl up my chest all the way around my neck. It was crazy. Like, this child already knew how to crawl the day he was born. He was so, and he is still so connected to me, which is funny. But he is so, when he came out of me, when I gave birth to him, he was already spoiled. Somehow he was so connected. I would put him down for 1 second, he would start to cry. Even he could not stay in the nursery because when they took him to the nursery, he cried. As soon as they brought him in the room with me, he stopped crying, and I wasn't even holding him. Instantly, he stopped crying. So this child has been connected to me since I gave birth to him, since I was carrying him. And he is definitely my little Buddha. I cannot wait to do seminars so you guys can meet him and talk to him as well. And but if you go to my website, defininglifepath.com, that's defininglifepath.com, you can purchase the book through my website. It will take you directly to Amazon or Barnes and Nobles or Kobo. Also, we're selling candles that we have prayed over and blessed and encouraged and want to send these candles to you and encourage you to go ahead and start your candle ceremony so you can start your spiritual journey and you can get the things that you want, teaching you how to get the things that you want in your life manifested and renewing your reality. So to get to know you guys, I want you guys to get to know me and ask me all the questions you want to ask. Start your ceremony, get the book, be encouraged. And you know, I want to talk about a lot of things, but I don't think that this is the podcast to talk about those things. But definitely having that one-on-one relationship with God is very, very important, because we can sit there and we can go to church every single day and or every Sunday, every Wednesday, but if you're not connected to the God within, it is not the same. because you're looking at that person on that podium and you're looking to him to give you what you need. And he is not the one to give you what you need. He can give you the words out of the Bible, and he can interpret the words in his own meaning. And then you leave that building, and then you go home and you're taking God with you and he's within you, but you're not connecting with him. And that's one thing that I want to teach you. I want to teach you how to get connected with the God within, so your story can be beautifully written. And you can have the miracles and the blessings in your life daily. You don't get blessed one time and then he said, I'm done. It's a daily thing that can happen. And he's not tired. He does not get tired. He's within. So the more you move, the more he moves. The more you do, the more he does. And that's one thing that we all need to know. We all need to know this. We sit around and we want things to be different in our lives, and things can be wonderfully different. But you have to step out on faith. And I'm not saying take risk until it's time to take risk, of course. All I'm saying is to step out, say what you want to do, make it a clear purpose path. Make your purpose clear and concise. And when you make that purpose clear and concise, then God would move you, because he now knows he have a way to go. But if you don't make that purpose clear and concise, then you are stuck. You are stuck doing the same old thing, routine, year after year after year after year, hoping and wondering and not knowing when. The time is now. The time is now to move. And one thing that I do want to also send you to my website, because I did a online workshop. It's an on-demand video that you can download and watch this video on how to know your personal year. It's so important for you to know your personal year and know what year you're in, so you can plan your vision board based on your personal year. Everybody have a personal year. Everyone in this world has a personal year that they go through every single year. And you have certain times when you're supposed to go do stuff, certain times when you're not, when you're supposed to relax. But then when the ground hit, you're supposed to hit the ground running on certain years. There are 9-year cycles, 9-year cycles. And when you get to 1, that's the hit the ground running, that's your beginning. When you get to 9, you are completing, you're ending. So you can create and start all over with year 1. It's very important to know your personal year, people, because you won't continue to make those same mistakes. You won't buy a house when you're not supposed to buy a house. You won't get married when you're not supposed to get married, and you do these other things when you're supposed to. You will plant seeds when you're supposed to plant, and then you will harvest, and then your seeds will manifest when they're supposed to. It's all about your personal year. I'm telling you, God has given us everything we need. There's nothing left to wonder or sit there and wait, because he's given us everything we need, and it's out there. It's out there. It's on my website. It's called the Personal Year Vision Board Workshop. It's $9.99. It's not that expensive. You just take your lunch money from one day, buy the book. The next day, buy the video workshop, so you can be on your way. It's 2019, people. 2019, and you need to find out what year you're in 2019. I'm in my year 5 in 2019, and I'm getting out there, and I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. And the opportunities are there for me because I'm on the right side of my personal year. And you need to know which side of your personal year, and if this is the year to get going, or what you need to do. You don't have this feeling in your heart for no reason. There's a reason why you feel like you feel. But you got to be encouraged, and you got to speak encouraging words into yourself, and you got to cut out the negativity. And I'm going to teach you that as well, how to cut out all negativity. I have a new, it's not a workshop, but it's more or less like a group that I am starting. And I'm so excited about it because it's going to help a lot of people. So please, people, I want you to, if you listen to this as a podcast, please subscribe to my podcast channel. Please follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's Instagram is Defining Life Path, Facebook Defining Life Path, and Twitter is D Life Path. Okay. Again, Cy's website is called Cy Mighty Minder. If you want to go check out his book, even if you want to go look at it to see how it is, it's very professional. We paid a lot of money just to get his book set up. Again, and that was a time when we were homeless. We got his book done when we were homeless. I didn't even realize I had a story. All I was doing was taking my notes out. I was writing in my journal every single day on the journey that we were going on, because I didn't even know how it would end up. But as I started to see, Cy was checking things off his list every other day, every other week, checking things off his list. I said, you know what, let me be a part, let me jump on his bandwagon, let me jump on this, doing what he's doing. And then I became the student and he was the master of faith. It's a beautiful story, people. You have to go get this story. If you don't go get another story, it's a quick read, it's an easy read, it's a page turner. You will want to read it 2 and 3 times. Please, if you do purchase the book, please leave a review on Amazon, on Barnes & Nobles, on Kobo, whichever source that you purchase it from. Also, please follow my YouTube channel, and I encourage you to turn other people on to this YouTube channel. I'm going to give some really good information, people, something that you've never heard of before. I know people tell you all the time to go out there and make your dreams happen, to take a risk, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you why you are important. I'm going to show you where your talents are. I'm going to show you how to find your purpose. And I'm not going to say, oh, that. I'm going to give you evidence that this is your purpose. Evidence and paper trail and all that good stuff, just by using your date of birth. It has nothing to do with your zodiac sign, Capricorn, Aquarius. It has nothing to do with any of those things. Okay? But I am going to encourage you, because we are a blessing and we have one life to live, this one. Now, I don't know if so whoever's going to come back next life, or you're going to be reincarnated or what, but I know this is the time that you're supposed to take full advantage of your life. Okay? You don't sit there and you waste it because you're waiting to get to heaven. You don't waste it. You live. And you live every single day. That's why you came here. You came here to live and live out this purpose. And I want to say, people, you got to stop disrespecting your shell. Disrespecting your shell. Disrespecting your shell. What is disrespecting your shell, and what does that mean? Disrespecting your shell means when you take on this life where you're in heaven, and you took on that life and you said, I can handle that life. That life came with 2 parents. That life came with a purpose. That life came with trials. It came with lessons. It came with talents. All these good things. That's what that shell came with. And you said, I can handle that shell. I can be her. I can be him. And you got into that shell, and you came through the birth canal, and then you were reborn through the water, the sac of your mom's belly. So when you were born and you were reborn through the sac, through the water, and you came out, you have been conditioned to forget about the purpose and the life that you took on. You're disrespecting your shell because you're not doing what you are not fulfilling the promise that you gave when you were in heaven and you said, I can handle that shell. You're not fulfilling it. Because how I know? Because you're unhappy. You're depressed. Things are not the way you want it. You don't have money that you want. You don't have the abundance. You don't have prosperity. And when you don't have those things, you are disrespecting your shell. When you go to bed and you're not listening to that thump in your heart, you're disrespecting your shell. When you are staying with that person and you know that he's not worthy for you, you're disrespecting your shell. When you're wondering why, when you're feeling unworthy, you're disrespecting your shell. You're disrespecting your shell, and it's time to stop disrespecting your shell and start living the life that you are supposed to live abundantly with prosperity. That's all I want to say for now. I have plenty more to say. That's all I want to say for now, but I have plenty more to say. I encourage you to come back and watch or listen to this podcast the next day, because I have plenty good stuff to give you guys. But today was just to introduce my new book, Numbers, Angels, and God. It will talk to you about if you're seeing 1111, if you're seeing 111, if you're seeing 222, you see these synchronized numbers daily. The angels are trying to get a hold of you and talk to you and communicate with you because they got a word for you. So you have to pay attention, and you have to go to Google and you have to say, I keep seeing this number, 123 or 333 or 1111 or 832 or 119 or 118. And you go to Google and you put that in there. I keep seeing whatever number you are seeing, you will get the message that the angels are trying to get to you. They're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. They're going to bug you until you listen, until you keep asking everybody, I keep seeing this. I don't know why I'm seeing this. And then you get to the right person, which is me. And then I will direct you in the right way to go. I don't hold anything in. I will tell you everything you need to know. Because we have to be empowered, we have to be encouraged, we have to get out here, we got to change the world, people. And especially my people, we got to change the world because we are behind. We are behind times. We have to stop disrespecting our shell. And we have to stop giving our lives to the ministers and expecting them to make it happen for us. We have to start getting a one-on-one. I have mine. You have to start getting your one-on-one relationship with God and making sure that you are listening, you are paying attention, you are moving. Don't sit your ass down and keep saying, I want to wait. I'm going to wait on God. That's a coward move, and you are disrespecting your shell. You are disrespecting your shell when you sit your ass down and you keep saying, I'm going to wait till next year, or I'm going to wait to this, or I'm going to wait on this, I'm going to do that. What are you waiting for? When you got God within and he's moving you to get your ass up and go do what you're supposed to do before you leave this earth. You have a purpose, and you promised when you was in heaven that you can handle that shell, and it's time to handle your shell. Okay? I love you guys. I love you all, and I'm here for you. You can reach out to me at hello at Defining Life Path. I will help answer your questions. I will help tell you your life path, whatever you need me to answer for you. You want to talk about the book, I will talk about the book. You want to talk about the candle method, we could talk about that. But you got to go get the book, people. You have to go get the book because it's a teaching tool. It's a teaching tool, but I'm not shutting down. I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to keep spreading the word so I can be heard and I can get the message out to anybody who is receptive to the message. Once again, my name is Cynthia Meeks. The name of this podcast is Defining Life Path Podcast. I enjoyed you spending time with me, listening. Please share this message and come back and continue to listen. Have a great day. It's over. I finally completed my very first podcast, people. I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your life. I'm excited for your path, for your purpose. Oh my gosh, I'm going to give you some really good stuff that you can use, and you will definitely change your reality. We're going to renew your reality. We're going to help you to stop disrespecting your shell. It's going to be beautiful, people. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for you to come back for more. All right? Once again, I love you. Take care. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you comment below. Make sure you follow me on social media. Hello, and email me if you need to email me at hello, Defining Life Path, social media, Instagram, Defining Life Path, Facebook, Defining Life Path, Twitter, D Life Path, and my website is defininglifepath.com. I love you. I love you. I love you. Stay encouraged, and I'll be back to give you more, okay? Bye-bye.